Dear student, our lesson today is talking about right triangle trigonometry. If we have right angled triangle and we have angle theta, this is the adjacent side of theta, and this is the opposite side of angle theta, and this is the hypotenuse side of angle theta. Hypotenuse, it means the greatest side of triangle opposite to the 90 degree. This is the hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Find the sine and cosine and tan of the angle E. If we have angle E, let's go to find sine angle E. Sine equal opposite over adjacent. It means 8.2 over 24.5. Sine equal opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine, it means adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan equals opposite over adjacent. Sine equal 8.2 over 24.5. Cosine equals 23.1 over hypotenuse 24.5. Tan equals opposite, means 8.2 divided adjacent 23.1. Let's go to show the answer. Sine 8.2 divided 24.5, approximation 0.33. Cosine equals 23.1 over 24.5, approximation 0.94. And tan equals opposite over adjacent, 8.2 divided 23.1, approximation 0.35. Finding a side. If you have find any side of the right angled triangle, like that, solve a trigonometric equation. There are only 3 possibilities for the placement of the values x. We have triangle ABC right angled at B. The hypotenuse is 12 centimeter and measure of angle C 25 and measure of angle B 90. Find the length of C, means AB. To solve this triangle and we get length of AB, we have angle C. By using sine rule, sine equals opposite over hypotenuse, means sine angle 25 equal x over 12. Cross multiplication, we get measure of angle, we get length of x. Let's try to solve it. Measure of angle C equals opposite sine C equal opposite over hypotenuse. Cross multiplication, we get x equals 12 sine C equals 12 sine 25. Therefore, x equals 5.04 centimeter. That's the first example. Let's go to the second example. We have ABC triangle, measure of angle C equal 25 and the length of opposite side to the angle C equals 12 and the hypotenuse equal x. To solve this triangle, sine 25 equals 12 over x. 12 over x. Cross multiplication, we get x equals 12 over sine 25 equals 28.4 centimeter. The length of the hypotenuse equals 28.4 centimeter. Okay. The third example. In this example, I want to solve measure of angle x. Measure of angle x. Sine x equals opposite 12 over hypotenuse 25. Shift sign angles, therefore x equals 28.7 degree. Let's go to show the answer. The answer of the first one equals 28.4. Hide the answer. The second one, x equal 5.04. And the third one, x equal 28.7. Find x. To solve this triangle by using tan. Tan 53 equals opposite over adjacent, means 5 over 50. Cross multiplication, we get x equals 50 tan 53. By calculation, therefore x equal 66.35 feet. This is the length between A and B in the right angled triangle. This is the length between A and B, 66.35 feet. Another example. Find the length of x. The length of x. This distance equals 10 feet and the angle of elevation equals 50 degree. Therefore, cosine, to get x, cosine 50 equals adjacent, means 100, over hypotenuse x. Cross multiplication, we get x equals 100 divided cosine 50. Therefore, x equals 155.5 feet. The distance between the main and the height of lighthouse equals 155.5 feet. Let's go to another example. The woman watches the dog and the dog is watching the woman. The dog watches the woman by elevation angle. Elevation angle is the angle included between the horizontal line and the ray of sight. This is the elevation angle from the dog and the woman. Theta, that's the horizontal line, and that's the ray of sight. This angle theta, angle of depression between the woman and the dog, lies between the horizontal line and the ray of sight. That is the horizontal line, and that's angle alpha. We deduce angle theta equals angle alpha because it's parallel alternate angle equal in measure, because that's the horizontal line and that's the horizontal line, and the ray of sight or line of sight, it's transversal. We deduce angle alpha equals angle theta. Okay. Let's go to this example.
A surveyor is standing 50 feet from the base of a large tree. The surveyor measures the angle of elevation to the top of the tree as 71.5 degrees. How tall is the tree?
How tall is the tree? This man look at by the elevation angle to the top of tree by the angle 71.5, and the distance between the man and the base of tree equals 50 feet. We want to calculation the tall of tree. By using 10, 70, 71.5, 10, angle of elevation, 10, 71.5 degree equal opposite over adjacent. Cross multiplication, we get y, the length of tree, equals 50 multiplies 10, 71.5. Don't approximation now. By calculation, therefore y approximation equals 149.4 feet. 149 feet. That's the length of tree. Let's go to show the result. Tan 71.5, that's the angle of elevation, equals y, the length of tree, over 50, the distance between the man and the base of tree. Cross multiplication, we get the length of tree equals 149.4 feet. Let's go to this example.
A person is 200 yards from a river. Rather than walk directly to the river, the person walks along a straight path to the river's edge at a 60 degrees angle. How far must the person walk to reach the river's edge?
Okay. A person is 20 yards from the river. A person goes to the river by the angle 60. How far must the person walk to reach the river edge? In this case, we use cosine theta. Cosine theta. Cosine 60 equals 200 divided x, adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent over hypotenuse. Cross multiplication, we get equals 400 yards. 400 yards. Let's go to show the result. The distance between the man and the river equals 400 yards. How tall the flag? It's considered it's considered this problem is two problems. The first one, we have to solve the height of building, and the second step, we solve the height of flag and the base of building, and we got to subtract the two equations to deduce the height of flag. From the beginning, in the triangle A, B, C, in the triangle ABC, measure of angle 10, 10, 30 equals AB opposite over adjacent 300. Cross multiplication, we get AB, the length of AB, the length of building, AB equals 173.2. That's the first step. The second step, we calculate the length from the top of flag and the base of house. In the triangle GBC, in the triangle GBC, 10, the angle of elevation 32, 10, 32 equals opposite GB over adjacent 300. Cross multiplication, we get the length of GB equals 187.46. 187.46. That's the second step. We subtract the second from the one, BG, subtract BG minus AB the result equal 14.5. That's the length of the flag. Suppose the angle of depression from the lighthouse to slide pole is 5.7. If the lighthouse is 150 feet tall, how far away is slide pole? In this problem, the height of lighthouse equals 150 feet, and the angle of elevation from the main and the top of lighthouse equals 5.7 degree. What is the distance between the main and the base of lighthouse? X. In this problem, we solve it by using tan 5.7 equals 150 over x. Tan 5.7 equals 150 over 6. Cross multiplication, we get x times tan 5.7 equals 150. Divided both sides by tan 5.7, we get the length of x equals 1503 feet. Find the sine and cosine and tangent to this given fraction. This is theta. Sine, we know the sine is opposite over hypotenuse equal 35 over 37. Cosine equal adjacent over hypotenuse, it means 12 over 37. Tan equal opposite over adjacent, it means 35 divided 12. Angle of elevation and depression.
A spire sits on top of the top floor of a building. From a point 500 feet from the base of a building, the angle of elevation to the top floor of the building is 35°. The angle of elevation to the top of the spire is 38°. How tall is the spire?
A spire set on top of floor of a building, far from the point 500 feet from the base of building. In the angle of elevation of the top floor of the building is 35 degrees. The angle of elevation to the top of spire is 38. How tall the spire? Angle 35 is the elevation angle between the horizontal line and the top of building. From the beginning, we calculate the distance between AB, that's the first step, and the second step, the distance between TB, and we will subtract to get the distance between AT. Total height T, building height B, spire height S. B plus S equals T. To solve the spire height, 1038 equal T over 500. Cross multiplication, we get T, the total distance, equal 538. Building height, 1035 elevation angle equals B over 500. Cross multiplication, we get B equals 535. 535 equal plus S equals T. $535 minus 535 equals S. The height of spire is approximation 41 feet. From the beginning, we get the height of building by using triangle A, B, C to get the height of building. And the second step, to get the height between the top spine and the base of building by using solve triangle B, D. Let's go to D. The triangle DBC, solve the triangle DBC. 10 elevation angle 1038 equal DB over 500. The distance between the main and the base of building. If we subtract DB minus AB, we get DA. DA, it's represent the height of spine. Let's go to the second example. Solve the right triangle round decimal to the nearest tenth. This is easy example. Solve a triangle. What the meaning of solve a triangle? Solve a triangle. Any triangle have 3 sides and 3 angles. We have to know the length of 3 sides of the triangle and the measure of 3 angles of the triangle. In this triangle, we know 2 angles and the hypotenuse and 1 side. To know BQ by using sine rules. Sine 37, sine 37 equals opposite BQ over hypotenuse 22. Cross multiplication, we get the length of BQ. BQ equals 22 sine 37. Let's go to use the calculator. To use the calculator, sin BQ equal 22 sin 37. The answer is 13.2. The answer is 13.2. 13.2. BQ equals 13.2. Let's go to solve QR. The QR, when to reduce QR, you use the cosine rule. Cosine 37 equals adjacent QR over hypotenuse 22. Cross multiplication, we get QR equals 22 cosine 37. Cosine 37. 22 cosine 37. The result 17.569. 17.6, approximation 17.6. In this triangle, try to solve it. Solve this triangle. We have two angles and one side. Angle R 90 degree and angle E 24, and AR equals 33. Tan 24, tan 24 degree equals TR opposite over adjacent. Cross multiplication, we get TR equals 33 tan 24 degree. Let's go to solve it by using calculator. $33 tan 24. The result equals 14.69. 14.69. Show the result. TR equals 14.69 means approximation 14.7. Okay. To get AT, to get the length of AT, cosine cosine 24 degree equals 33. Cosine equal adjacent over hypotenuse over AT. Cross multiplication, we get AT equals 33 over cosine 24. By using calculator, we get AT equals 36.1 centimeter. The result AT equals 36.1. Now we know the length of three sides of the triangle and the three angles of triangle. Let's go to the last one.
A person is 200 yards from a river. Rather than walking directly to the river, the person walks 400 yards along a straight path to the river's edge. Find the acute angle Q between this path and the river's edge. See the figure.
The person is distance between the river by 200 yards. Rather than walking directly to the river, the person walked 400 yards along the straight path of the river edge. Find the acute angle between the path of the river edge. To get the acute angle, we used sine rule. Sine equals opposite over hypotenuse. Sine theta equal opposite over hypotenuse. Sine theta equals 200 divided 400 equals half. Shift sign answer, therefore theta equals 30 degree. Acute angle theta equals 30 degree. Thank you for listening.